Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Did you know I have a Patreon? You can go over there and support the channel. Now onto the stories. Case file number 902, written by Bricked23. Why is my apartment building alive? I work as a security nighttime attendant at an apartment building. It's 14 stories and one of the oldest buildings in the city. One night I'm sitting here when my phone rings at about 2 a.m. and I answer. "Hello, this is Warren at the front desk. How may I help you?" The voice on the other end sounded female, but was totally garbled, and the only bit I could make out was 13th floor. I tried to tell the person I couldn't understand them and asked what apartment they were in, but again, garbled response and 13th floor. After the third time of trying to understand them and the same response, I said since I couldn't understand them, I'd come up and meet them in the hallway. So I go to the main elevators, and both are up on the surprise 13th floor. Luckily, we have an older service elevator and it's only on the 7th floor, so I call it down. I get in and hit the button for the floor, but it won't move and the inner door won't close, so I go to unlock the reset panel and boom, we start going up. The door is still open though. I'm freaking out and the elevator is shaking because it goes up pretty fast and is old. As I'm going up, I just stay towards the back and finally, I reach floor 13. I step out, the door closes just fine and I look around the hallway. There's nobody around. I walk along slowly, trying to listen for anyone awake who might have called, but there's nothing. Now I head in the opposite direction and go towards where the regular elevators are, and when I get to them, they are just sitting there with their doors open. I was pretty freaked out, but I knew it could just be the elevators on the fritz. So I get in and figure I'll just reset them when I get to floor 1, when I hear the sound of the back stairwell closing. I quickly get out and go to the stairwell, and lo and behold, no one's there. But the maintenance door to the machine room is ajar, and at the time I'm the only one in the building with a key. At the top of the building is a large machine room housing all the really loud machinery that does stuff in the building and allows access to the roof. I don't like going into it because it's creepy as hell and no one ever goes there, so at this point I'm seriously freaked out, but I muster up and head in. I shout, "Hello?" and there's no response. The lights in this room flicker because they're crappy fluorescent lights. I can't see well either, but at the end of the room I can make out the roof access door and sure as hell it's slightly open. So I slowly continue forward, checking the space in between each machine as I walk by, and there's no one there, so I open the roof access door. I can't see anyone ahead of me, on the roof, but there is a slight wraparound, and if there was a jumper or something I needed to be sure, so I step out and leave the door ajar like it was. Almost immediately, the door is pulled shut. Now I might have written it off as wind or something, but this door is hard to shut and really hard to open. Really hard. I immediately grab my keys, unlock it, and yank the handle to open it, slam it behind me and run straight to the maintenance door. It automatically locks when it's closed, so I slam it shut too and go back to the 13th floor hallway, get into an elevator, door is still open, and go all the way down to the first floor. Go back to the main lobby, and as soon as I sit down the phone rings again. I pick it up, don't say a word, and sure as hell, garbled voice again only audibly saying, 13th floor. I hung up on the phone, turned the ringer off and spent the rest of the evening just staring at the parking garage security monitor. There's been a bunch of creepy things happening at this building. It's basically like the Overlook Hotel at night. I walked past the dark room here on the first floor once and swore I saw myself standing inside it. The next night as I'm inside said room cleaning, the lights flip off and I turn around to see a quick flash of myself walking past. Case file number 903, written by browniecambran. House Pixies to the rescue. I was picking up several papers and small items off the counter to leave this morning. One thing was a 4x6 Ziploc bag with 100 grams of clay in it, so not a thin item, that was in a folded sheet of letter-sized paper. I was trying to pick them both up at once and hold my phone in the same hand, obviously not a smart move. The bag slipped out and fell towards the floor. I watched it fall, and then it just didn't hit the ground. It seemed to disappear mid-fall. I stepped back and looked around everywhere to make sure it didn't hit the floor and slide, since it was a weighty item in a slick bag. Nope, no joy. I moved everything in a 5-foot radius just to make sure, and there was nothing it could have fallen into on the way down. I was picking it up from my kitchen counter. There was no way it could have gone under the cabinets. It's just gone. Even the cat was confused. I spent 20 minutes looking for it, even in places my rational self knew it couldn't have been. So, for those that have had this happen, does the item ever come back? I'm really stressed about this as it's a special clay and I need it soonish and have no desire to spend the $100 to replace it. Just an update, but I did find it. It wound up in a zipped closed pocket of a backpack 6 feet away. Apparently asking the house Pixies for help worked.